Gen Z are more risk takers.
Narayan Murthy says, we should work 70 hours a week.
People are getting a heart attack at the age of 30. I really believe in the work-life balance. I feel it's really important. I still don't agree with that. The money cannot replace the luxury in India. So it's really important for us to analyze the strengths of the child.
Welcome everyone. This is your host and host, founder and CEO Aerobay Experiential Learning Program, Neha Chauhan. And welcome to a very special episode of the Aerobay podcast. Today we have a very special guest amongst us. She is a head of Mount Litra International School. She is in the field of education from past 30 years. Welcome Priya Anand ma'am. It's our honor to have you here. First of all, to begin with, how are you feeling, ma'am?
Oh, great. It's a lovely feeling to be here and I'm enjoying every moment of it.
Right. Great. Lovely, ma'am. Ma'am, I was really excited for today's podcast with you. There are two reasons for that. The first one, because you're such a strong female leader in the world of education who's been working from past 30 years. And 30 years is a long time.
Yeah.
For someone like me and so many people who are watching you, who've just started their entrepreneurial journey, and even though we are working in the education sector related to STEM field, we would like to know your take, how education is changing in past decade in terms of the different policies coming out, how we are implementing in the school. Ma'am, some views on it, please.
Okay. So education is definitely evolving. The Gen Z learn in a very different way. They do not learn like how we learned, where we were only exposed to rote learning. It's more of inquiry based. Students want to learn through adventure. That's something I've seen, that learning is not through books. Learning is through the internet or through videos. So I always encourage my teachers to provide platforms for learning which is more engaging and challenging for our students. We don't want them to get bored. Like we've always heard that they get bored within 8 minutes of staying in a class. So it's really important for us to keep them engaged on digital platforms where every bit of learning is a challenge to them.
Right. Ma'am, talking about, because you just mentioned the word board, and we see quite often that, young generation, on one side, they're very creative, they are having these millions of followers on Instagram, they're making their reels and content, but yet they have a very shorter attention span, which make people very worried about, the coming near future, that how do we cope up with a younger generation, because apparently they don't want to go that traditional rote, method of rote learning and applying the same kind of job. How do we deal with it?
So I feel I'd ask the new generation, that is the Gen Z, are more risk takers. They do not believe in waiting to get a result after a period of few years. They want results immediate. So I feel when they are risk takers, they are also willing to take those risks in life where they can get the results soon. For them, success is immediate. They don't want to wait like us. Like I took more than 10 years to become a principal. I've seen the young generation principals are becoming a principal after 3 years of teaching. So it's definitely changing in that way. So I feel the inquiry-based approach is what they are following. They inquire more to get more knowledge, which makes them more confident individuals.
Absolutely. Yeah. Ma'am, what are your thoughts on work-life balance? Because you've been working from such a long time. Narayan Murthy says, we should work 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the other half of the world doesn't agree with it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
I really believe in the work-life balance. I feel it's really important. We are seeing so many cases where emotional learning, there's a lot of breakdowns, and stress is building up. People are getting a heart attack at the age of 30. The only reason is because they do not maintain a work-life balance. I think it's very important. I don't believe in working more than 10 hours a day. Right. Though that's I work for 10 to 12 hours a day. So, but I know I would not expect my teachers to work for 10 to 12 hours. They would work for 8 hours. But it's really important. But how you manage those 8 hours is important.
Right.
So we say self-management skills. So how you manage that time and try to get your work done within that time is important.
That is it.
So again, it's a lot of self-determination and motivation for every individual to have so that you can maintain the work-life balance.
Right. It's not about that you're working
No.
rigorously for 30, 40, 50 hours.
No, I don't
Even if
believe
you work in 10 hours, it should be more.
Yeah, it should be more. The outcome should be seen then, the process. You can't sit for like 12 hours and 15 hours and then said, I worked for this many hours,
Right.
when we don't see the result.
Right. Ma'am, I have a very, and this question more for me, I want to ask for myself. Is there any secret to success?
I don't think so. It's just that you need to love your job, and that keeps me going because I love what I do, and I think that itself is something for everyone to believe in. Believe in yourself, and then you will do wonders.
Right, right. Lovely, ma'am. So I'll try
Thank
to
you.
do that.
Yeah.
Ma'am, we talk a lot about IQ, but how important do you think the role of EQ is in our life, no matter at what stage we are, student or working professional? Does that emotional quotient really matter, or is it just all like talks?
No, I think emotional quotient matters because I feel our children, that generation Z is very different. For them, EQ really matters in every walk of life. Right. So I would give full credit to an EQ than an IQ.
Right. So we can always put more or equal focus on
Yes.
the EQ segment as well.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
Ma'am, what are your thoughts on young India? Because today we are in an education conference and we are talking about, changing education or skill development, all of those things.
Yeah.
So many people, India is changing. We find opportunity here, but people are still, more focused towards going to foreign land or maybe settling there. They're like Canada में settle हो जाते हैं. What are your thoughts on it? What does the future look like? According
Of course, the future is really developing, and I feel India is the best place to be in. I've had friends who've gone to the US and Canada coming back because the economy is not doing well. And I feel if you're in India, you're a king. Because we have all the liberties of enjoying life, working life, having support staff to help us, having drivers, having cooks, which we would not have when we work abroad and live abroad. So the young generation should look at living in India, working for India, and taking our country, making our country proud. I think that's very important.
You actually mentioned a very important point. You just said that we don't have that kind of luxury in foreign land, even though it looks very, happening and limelight and all of those things like staying over there. But reality could be very, very different because now here we have the maid help or we have our cabs and personal drivers and everything. So those kind of things might not be there over there. So it's almost equal on the both the level, right? Whether in India or in the foreign land.
I still don't agree with that. The money cannot replace the luxury in India. You may earn abroad, but that doesn't give you the luxury that you would have in India for the same amount.
Right.
So I would any day look at living and working in India than going to a foreign land and working for another land.
Right. Absolutely. So for the viewers who are watching, you need to come back and stay in India and maybe explore more opportunities over here.
Of course.
Ma'am, for my last question, for young parents who still figuring out, because parents stay so much worried in terms of what is the right pathway they should be setting up for their younger kids. What are those 4-5 key advice would you like to give? Some pointers for them if they are exploring.
It's really important first to analyze the strengths of the child to see if they're really inclined towards sciences, towards humanities, or towards finance, to business. So first identify their interests. I think that's the key. Once you identify the interests, find pathways of how to go towards that interest. Studying those subjects is very important. And once you study the subject, you will know the universities that you would want to study in. And then success will follow. It should be the child's interest, the child's strengths, and then the pathway would definitely happen. So
it means we have to identify their strengths
first.
Points
So we do competency tests like logical reasoning tests. to identify the strength areas of children. So once you identify the strength areas, there are kids who would come out excellent, that they would do very well in STEM.
Right.
So then we push the students, to do to take STEM for the university careers also, and we would guide them towards universities that are more STEM related.
Right.
So the pathway for us, I feel, should begin from grade 8.
Grade 8.
Yes.
Right. Why
That's
that
something-
because is that an ideal class?
That's an idea. At least by then we know the child has some way built their ideas about what they want to do or what they want to become. So in grade 8, we start telling them, look at a subject of your interest.
Right.
And we should also give them that awareness of those subjects. So have these orientation.
Any domain or just the science part?
All the domains. We expose them to all domains, not just the sciences. There are many kids who are excellent in finances and they want to do entrepreneurship.
Right.
Then we promote them towards entrepreneurship.
Right.
And we tell them do some internships where with some businesses where you can develop those entrepreneur skills.
Right.
So like I said, the present generation is very different from what we were. I don't think we ever thought of working from grade 8, but now grade 8, 9 children want to do internships,
Right.
to build those skills.
That's what NEP is also for. Yes, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
to provide some exposure.
And they have to. Because that's where they learn the real life skills,
Right. Right.
So that's
Absolutely, ma'am.
So nice. It was lovely talking to you.
Lovely talking
Pleasure.
to you, ma'am. And I'm sure our viewers has learned a lot today.
Thank you.
And thank you so much once again
Thank you.
for giving us time. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.